So first of all, I would like to extend a huge thank you to my 3D Hubs customer Heather, who was gracious enough to let me use the model shown for educational purposes. So huge thank you on that one. That said, I'm going to be showing you guys how to take these rough models and polish them up accordingly. First thing that we're going to want to do is just go over them carefully with an X-Acto knife and some sandpaper, as they have a pretty rough surface as they come off the printer. That is normal with the metal filaments, as they tend to ooze a lot more than regular PLA. That said, when we're done cleaning them up a little bit, we're going to take them down to my rotary rock tumbler and put them in there for a couple of hours to help smooth the surface over. While the rock tumbler is completely optional, it can be quite helpful, although they do have kind of a steep price to purchase and get media for. So let's get started by prepping the models. Okay guys, now that we have the sanding done on these models, we can go ahead and stick them into the rock tumbler. I highly recommend running each material as its own batch in the tumbler and then rinse out the media when you're done. That way you don't get little particles of copper and bronze rubbed into either model. While this can look cool in certain applications, in most you just don't want that. So we're going to run these for about 24 to 48 hours a piece, and then we'll come on back and see what the results look like. Alright, a quick word about tumbling media. The first kind that I tumble with is this. It's a mixture of 2 different sizes of ceramic abrasive media. While this stuff is pretty aggressive and somewhat expensive, it's nice because it cuts the parts down pretty quickly and saves the time that you need in the stainless steel pin media, which is what's coming up next. Okay, so here we have the parts out of the ceramic media tumble, and on the left we have the magnetic iron, which never gets very shiny on its own. It's better for rusty finish, which is what it was intended for. Then we have the stainless really starting to shine up, as well as the bronze and the copper. Now you'll probably notice that these have a little bit of a white haze to them. This is because I never cleaned out the ceramic tumbling media water, which gets a little bit cloudy over time. So if I really wanted to, I could probably put some fresh water in the tumbler and run these for about an hour to clean them up. But we're going to go ahead and now stick them into the tumbler with stainless steel pin media, which really helps to do the final surface smoothing. The main reason why I like to use ceramic as an intermediate is it works a bit faster, I find, than the stainless media, but it comes to the trade-off of being a lot more aggressive on the parts, and you have to be really careful that they aren't fragile and won't get broken in the process. So now let's go throw the parts back into the tumbler for about 12 to 16 hours and see what happens. And this is the stainless steel media. This stuff is just a bunch of little pins that is used in brass reloading operations, and I find works pretty well for small parts. I might also look into getting some stainless steel balls that I mix in there, so that way I get more of a unique action, because pins might work better on certain surfaces and round balls might work better on other surfaces. But for the moment, I've had pretty good results tumbling for about 12 to 24 hours with stainless steel pins. Your results may vary. Experiment and find out. If you don't like the look, just keep it in there a little bit longer. Oh, and speaking of polish, I found I get good results with Mother's polish. I need to finish it off with, as we all know, my good buddy NuFinish. So let's go polish these guys up. So I thought I'd take them outside to show you guys just what kind of effect you can get. Obviously we have the bronze, the copper, the stainless, and the iron. When I got done polishing them, I just gave them a quick rub down with some soapy water and a soft brush just to remove any of the excess polishing compound. And I came over it with it's always my favorite, NuFinish. And I have to say that the effect is pretty cool. You definitely can see the shine and also the color of the materials here. And I'll also post up a link to a photo album where you guys can see all the high resolution photos of this. So once again, huge thank you to Heather for loaning me these models. It was a pleasure to work with them. And if you guys have any questions about how to polish filaments using a rock tumbler, please let me know and I can go in more in depth if you guys are interested. But pretty much the basics are you just want to sand any rough areas away, tumble with a heavier, coarser material if you have it. If you don't worry about it, but it does help. And then come along with a nice burnishing media. In this case I use stainless pins, or I have seen ceramic media for burnishing, which I might try out as well, as it's heavier and might do the process quicker. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Make It with Calvin. If you did, please feel free to leave a comment down below, subscribe to my channel, like and share this video with your friends. If you want to keep track of what I'm doing between episodes, feel free to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I have links in the description down below. So until next time, have fun and stay safe.